Talia was 8 when her foster sister Marcy branded her face with a hot iron rod just because she was scared that Talia would become a Luna and she'd be forgotten forever. At 10, she tried to sacrifice Talia to Satan by spreading the rumor that Talia was a cursed, wolfless freak who could never shapeshift, but Talia survived. She begged the Alpha Edward for help, but little did she know that he was a part of it. He praised Marcy and said,
"She's a cursed, wolfless slave. Your job is to punish her for it."
8 years have passed. The torture never stopped. And today is Marcy's big day. Like always, she made sure Talia wouldn't dare outshine her.
Clean it up!
Alpha Edward had invited Alpha Damon, the powerful alpha of the Dark Howlers pack, as a potential match for Marcy. This was a political move to unite the two biggest wolf packs in history. In order to impress the Alpha, Princess Marcy left no stone unturned, because she knew that marriage with Alpha Damon was going to make her the most powerful woman in the wolf world. She couldn't wait to meet him. The sun stood high in the sky, bold and unbothered, and that's when Alpha Damon entered. Tall, intense, dangerous in the kind of way that makes your heart race, even if you know he is the type who could ruin you. But unknown to all, Alpha Damon had another motive when he came to the Red Moon Pack. He was on a mission to fulfill a prophecy and save the entire wolf world. Cassandra, the oracle of his pack, had made a doomsday prophecy. It said that the werewolf race was on the brink of destruction, and the only thing that could save them was marriage between Alpha Damon and his fated mate, the daughter of the moon goddess. It had warned Alpha Damon that if his mate didn't fall in love with him in 30 days, the entire wolf world would burn and the packs would devolve into madness. Brother will fight brother and sister will fight sister, and none will survive. Cassandra didn't tell Damon the name of his fated mate, but she told him that he would smell her first. The smell will be so irresistible that he'd bow at her feet. Alpha Damon spent next 4 weeks trying to find his fated mate. Every woman he met swooned all over him, but his eyes were looking for the one who would save the wolf world. Little did he know that the she would not be a princess, but a tortured, lowly servant. The day Alpha Damon entered the Red Moon Pack territory, he had only 2 days left to find the daughter of the moon goddess. Right behind him were his betas, Caden and Maya. Total opposites, but both had that same fierce energy that made heads turn. As the three of them stepped into the pack grounds, it felt like the whole world held its breath. Damon didn't smile. He never did. His voice was low, but it echoed, "Something's wrong in this pack." "I don't feel sane," Caden muttered under his breath. Damon was greeted by Luna, Layla, and Alpha Edward, but right behind them was Marcy, rocking the most seductive dress she could pull off today, making sure all eyes were on her. Luna gave Marcy a quick signal. "Take Damon and the others to the room. They've got to be wiped out from the trip." No words needed, they both knew what that meant. As the prey is here, the cage had to be set. Everyone knew the truth. This marriage wasn't Damon's idea. He wasn't just any alpha. He was unpredictable, relentless. A man who answered to no one. The pack whispered in corners, eyes darting. What if he changes his mind? What if he walks away? What if the wedding never happens? No one dared say it aloud, but everyone feared the same thing. Behind all the shimmer and silk, Marcy had a mission, assigned by the elders, not just to marry Damon, but to control him, tame him, in any way necessary, even if it meant seduction. The hallway stretched long and silent as Marcy walked beside Damon, heels clicking like a countdown. Damon said nothing, eyes ahead, expression unreadable. A storm wrapped in silence. Marcy tried to match his stride, every inch of her dress to impress. She threw a quick glance his way, searching for approval, a word, even a look, nothing. Meanwhile, Talia was surrounded by Anna and a few other Omegas. Anna crossed her arms and sneered, "You don't get to rest. Take these towels and put them in Alpha Damon's bathroom, now." Her mind whispered the warning. Marcy might be there. Talia's voice shook as she pleaded, "Please, give me any other task, just not this one." But Anna snapped, "Did you not hear the first time? Or did those bruises from the last slap already fade? Want a reminder?" Talia grabbed the towels, her hands trembling, and slowly made her way toward Damon's room, every step heavy with fear. She feared Marcy's sharp words, her ruthless wrath. Not once did she dare confront her, not after the last time. Marcy stood just inside the room, heart pounding beneath the silk. She gathered every ounce of courage and finally spoke. "Hello, dear husband, dear Alpha." Her voice was soft, rehearsed, laced with hope. She twirled slightly, letting the fabric of her dress catch the light. "How does your Luna look in this?" "I got ready. For you." Silence. Damon looked at her, full of rage. Her words hit him like a stone. Seriously? He shot back a little sharp. You really think throwing on that dress and giving me that look suddenly makes you my Luna? Marcy paused for a second, then said softly, I was just trying to make you feel comfortable. Damon's rut flared up, the heat inside him making his words a little rougher and irresistible. He smirked and said, if you really want to make me comfortable, you gotta try a different approach. He shot her a slow, teasing look. Marcy was waiting for the moment to take control. She didn't even bother protecting her own pride. Damon sank onto the sofa, legs spread casually. Marcy didn't waste a second. Her fingers moved quickly to unzip him, and she slipped in between his legs. She was beautiful, perfect, exactly what he was supposed to want, but she wasn't the one fate gave him. Marcy kisses his neck. Damon closed his eyes, trying to block it all out, but then, through the darkness behind his lids, the half-faint from the prophecy, a vision appeared, soft, blurred, yet impossible to ignore. A whisper of a promise, a shadow of destiny. It was his mate. He felt pulled toward that face like a magnet. He couldn't focus on anything else. Suddenly, the perfume changes. Not a fake floral that Marcy had. A swirl of freesia and citrus petals brushing his face. Exactly the one described through the prophecy. Damon froze, utterly shocked. In all the chaos, the politics, the anger, he had buried the prophecy deep inside his mind, drowned in his own doubts and frustrations. But now, those fleeting images, those flashes, were breaking through the fog. A sudden clarity, a reminder of a destiny he couldn't escape. The ticking of the clock, each second a reminder, echoed in his mind like a war drum. 30 days. That too. Running already. That's all he had. He jerks away from the woman on top of him, gasping. Marcy said, Damon, what's wrong? His hand trembled. She's not you. His soul bonded to her, while his body betrayed him. And then, just as he turned away, a figure standing behind the half-open doors. A woman. Not dressed to impress, not trying to be seen. Talia was standing right in front of him, hiding. Her eyes, their color was changing. A chill ran down his spine as Cassandra's words echoed in his head. Damon's wolf responded, Mate, she's your mate. Damon, stop her now. Damon shot up, heart pounding. Who's there? Stop, he yelled, shoving Marcy aside as he bolted toward the door. But when he flung it open, nothing. Just silence. Talia was gone, like a ghost slipping through the cracks. Who is that? Damon demanded, his voice sharp with impatience. Marcy blinked, a little thrown. I don't know. Probably just some Omega. Don't stress about it, Damon snapped. Go, now. I need to know who she is, urgently. Marcy stiffened, biting her tongue. Why does he care so much about some random Omega, she thought, jealousy starting to bubble beneath the surface. Being left hanging like that wasn't easy for any man. Marcy, too, was clearly irritated, but with Damon's mind elsewhere, she had no choice but to hold it in and walk away. While waiting for Marcy to return, Damon couldn't sit still. He was restless, frustrated, and totally on edge. Is the prophecy going to be right? The words whispered in his thoughts like thunder. But she looks like an Omega. How could she be my mate? His jaw clenched. How could an Omega be the moon goddess's chosen? Her daughter, the destined Luna. It made no sense, and yet, no part of him could look away. Needing to clear his head, he stepped out for some air. As he wandered through the quiet halls of the living area, something caught his eye, a faint glow from the open refrigerator. There, standing in the cool light, was Talia. Her face looked scared, almost like she'd been caught doing something wrong, just searching for food. Her face was bruised, her hands cut up. Damon didn't care who was watching. He ran to her. What happened? Who did this to you? Talia's breath hitched upon seeing Damon. She hadn't expected him to find her. Not so soon, not like this, and definitely not with that look in his eyes, intense, unreadable, too close. Overcoming her fear, she whispered, I just fell. But the ring mark on her cheek? Yeah, he knew exactly who it belonged to. She lied to protect Marcy, but he's about to burn it all down. He'd never felt this whole. Damon held her face, eyes locked. Cassandra's words came rushing back to him like a memory that never left. She doesn't know what she is. She's been hidden, forgotten. He had dismissed the oracle back then, thinking her riddles were laced with madness. But now, as he stood face to face with the girl who didn't even know the blood running through her veins, he realized the prophecy was not some distant fate. It was unraveling right in front of him. Talia's eye color shifted again. His heart screamed, "She's mine." But then, nothing. No spark, no pull, nothing from her. Damon thought, if she's really my mate, why doesn't she feel it too? Damon couldn't tear his eyes away, but the questions came harder now. How does this prophecy even work? Is it only meant for me, not for her? Damon stepped closer, his eyes locked on hers, intense and steady. He lifted her chin with a gentle touch. No words. Their lips met, soft at first, then deeper. Time slowed. She froze, half scared, half something else. She wasn't ready to face him. Not after everything. Talia didn't think Damon would show up this soon. Her heart dropped, but those eyes, they still pulled her in. When they parted, Damon's forehead rested against hers. "This is real," he whispered. "We'll figure it out." Talia's heart fluttered wildly, but her eyes stayed wide, unsure what to feel. She didn't know what that meant, but her stomach fluttered like never before. Talia turned and ran. "Wait!" Damon called out, but she was already gone. Just her scent, fading. By now, after their closeness, the soft brush of her skin, the way her scent clung to his senses. Damon knew. There was no mistaking it anymore. His wolf had recognized Talia. He chased through the woods, fast, desperate. But she was faster. Silence. Then, Damon. He turned. Maya and Caden were there. "She went that way?" Damon asked impatiently. Caden nodded with cluelessness. "I lost her again," he muttered sadly. Damon walks away frustrated. Maya and Caden exchange a glance. Maya exclaimed, "I've never seen him like this. Damon doesn't chase girls." Caden replied, "I feel there's a story behind it." Damon searched the Red Moon grounds like a hound, but the girl's sweet scent evaded him. His mind churned, trying to piece together the mystery of the copper-haired girl who had wrecked his sanity with a single glance. This wasn't just about love, or power, or rebellion against the elders. This was about destiny, about the prophecy that spoke of a Luna with fire in her soul and light in her blood. And it all started here, with her, Talia, a girl too broken to believe she mattered, too silenced to feel the bond. Damon whispered, "I would show her. I would awaken her wolf. I would make her feel it. The future of the wolves is written in our bond, the 30 days assigned to me. They're already slipping away, and she..." He clenched his fists, frustration burning in his chest. "She's not convinced, not even close. She doesn't trust me. She won't look at me the same." Each time he reached for her, she pulled farther away, vanishing like mist. Damon had searched every building, every hallway, yet she was gone. His frustration gnawed at him. He threw the bedroom door open without thinking, and froze. Nora was already there, draped across his bed like she belonged, wearing nothing but a wicked smirk. "I figured you'd need company," she purred, stretching, letting her fingers trail across his pillow, marking her territory. "Rough night?" Damon exhaled hard, his fists clenching at his sides. The girl's scent was still in his head, citrus and freesia, clinging like a curse. But Nora smelled of want, willing, available, a distraction. That's all he needed. That's all this was. He closed the door with a snap and stepped toward the bed, gaze dark and unreadable. "Shut up," he growled. Then he grabbed her and poured out all the heat he had upon Nora. Damon sat on the edge of the bed later, running a hand through his damp hair. The shower hadn't washed away the frustration, nor the bitter aftertaste of what just happened. Nora was already gone. He glanced down and saw a pair of torn panties near the foot of the bed. Not Marcy's, Nora's. His lip curled. Perfect. Just another mess to clean up. "You're a damn fool." His wolf's voice slithered into his mind, thick with disgust. "Did that make you forget her? Did she feel like our mate?" Damon clenched his jaw. No. Nora had been warm, willing, everything he should have wanted, but it had been empty, pointless. The moment his release faded, the hunger in his chest only grew sharper. His wolf sneered. "I warned you, she is the only one who can satisfy us." Damon growled under his breath. He didn't want this to be true. He didn't want to need the girl with the copper-colored hair. And yet, he did. If he was ever going to find peace again, he needed to find her. His frail, elusive mate. The Omega who kept slipping through his fingers. The night hadn't brought rest for Damon. Only visions. Visions of her. The copper-haired girl, the prophecy and the words of Cassandra and the tickling of the 30 days clock. hands clawing at her, bruising her delicate skin, dragging her into darkness he couldn't reach. He didn't even know her name. "Are you awake?" He sent the mind link sharp and fast toward Caden and Maya. "We are now," Caden grumbled back, half asleep. Maya's tone sharpened instantly. "Did something happen?" "Caden, my room, now." The link cut. No more explanations. Both Maya and Caden rushed to Damon's bedroom. Damon's voice cut through the quiet room like a blade. "As I've told you before, have you found anything? Any flaw? Any history of Marcy that I can use to reject her?" "Nothing solid as of now," Caden responded, his voice tight with frustration. "But we are trying our best," he added. Damon then asked them to leave. His voice came out low, like a promise to himself and the moon goddess who had been watching all along. "I finally decided," he whispered. "I won't break this prophecy. I won't run from it anymore." He stood, shoulders squaring, a different kind of fire in his eyes now, conviction. "I'll convince Talia. I'll stand by her side, marry her, not Marcy, not anyone else the elders choose for me." Caden retorted, "But it isn't that simple. The girl wears no pack mark, no title. She is Red Moon's property, a slave. Taking her, claiming her wouldn't just break protocol. It would be an act of war." Caden must have felt the spiral brewing because he leaned forward, voice low and urgent. "If you claim another Pax Omega slave," he said, "it's treason. The elders will come down on you like a blade. You'll start a war the Dark Howlers can't afford." He hesitated, voice softening. "And she'll pay the price too, Damon. They'll tear her apart." Damon stared out at the rising sun where jaw clenched so tight it ached. He couldn't touch her. He couldn't want her. He couldn't even breathe around her, but he couldn't leave her either. Unless, an idea bled into his mind, sharp and merciless. A contract. A marriage contract had the power to override pack ownership. It would erase any claim the Red Moon Pack had on her. Her eyes, her scent. She was real. She had to be. His wolf knew it, felt it. Just as Damon was moving through the alley, a sharp gust of wind brushed past him, carrying something that made his wolf freeze mid-step, a familiar scent. It was Nora, someone who thrived on stealing what wasn't hers. She traced a finger slowly down her thigh and purred, "I've been waiting for you, Alpha." Damon's jaw clenched, fury simmering beneath his silence. Damon's rut hit him hard, waves of heat and tension he couldn't control. He took a step towards Nora, but suddenly the same haunting face flashed before his eyes, stopping him cold. Damon's voice cut sharply, "Do you know who that copper-colored hair girl is?" Nora's confident mask flickered. No man had ever slipped past her before. Still, she forced out, "Yes, that's Talia." He asked with his voice sharp, "Take me to her." And Nora had no choice. Damon's patience snapped. He threw the attic door open. The light inside was low, just a pale blade of moonlight through a cracked window. And there she was, curled in the corner like a forgotten offering, copper hair in tangles, knees pulled to her chest, eyes wide and gleaming with unshed tears. He stopped breathing. "You..." His voice cracked. He cleared his throat. "You're probably wondering why I'm here." She didn't answer, just pressed herself tighter against the wall, shrinking as if expecting a blow. It gutted him. "I won't hurt you," he said quietly. "Not like them." He stepped closer, and she flinched. That's when he saw it. The bruises, the busted lip, a wrist bent wrong beneath her sleeve. "She hit you again, didn't she?" he growled. Talia's voice came out brittle. "Please don't say anything. If you do, she'll make it worse." He hated it, hated that she expected pain. For a moment, Talia stared at him, uncertain, and then she froze. Damon's thoughts swirled in confusion. Is she truly unaware of the path laid out for her? Why does she endure all of this in silence? Why doesn't she fight back? Why doesn't she speak? Talia was stiff in his arms, every muscle tense, but slowly, she gave in. Her forehead dropped against his collarbone. Her breath hitched. Her scent, heat-laced, sharp, addictive, wrapped around him like wildfire. His wolf whimpered. Then he felt it, her body twitching in discomfort, the twisted wrist. Damon gently took her hand. When she tried to pull away, he held it steady. It's okay, let me help. And then, without thinking, he brought her wrist to his lips and licked the wound. What are you doing? Healing you, he murmured. Alpha saliva accelerates recovery. It's instinct. I didn't mean to scare you. She stared at him, lips parted in shock. You're licking me. He smiled faintly. Yes, and you're lucky. Normally I charge for this kind of intimacy. She flushed, eyes flickering with something else now. Confusion, heat, shame. I don't understand, she said softly. Why are you doing this? And then her voice cracked. Why would you help someone like me? I'm nothing. I'm a wolfless omega. I don't even belong to myself. Her words hit harder than any blade. He felt her breaking in front of him and couldn't stand it. You're not nothing, he said fiercely. Don't ever say that. Damon whispered in her ears, I wish I could tell you who you are, what you're meant to become, what the prophecy says about you. But maybe it's better this way. Maybe you're meant to discover it on your own. He paused, swallowing the ache in his chest. Forget it. She shook her head. I have no wolf, no family, no future. I'm not a Luna. I'm not even a person to them. I'm dirt on their boots. No. He gripped her shoulders gently. You're not. As her voice rose, something shifted in the air. Her body trembled. Her skin flushed like soft moonlight. Her eyes flared, silver, bright and glowing. Talia, he breathed. You have to calm down. You're not just in heat. You're awakening. What's happening to me? She cried, terrified. He took her face in his hands. It's your blood, he said. The goddess's blood. It's inside you. You're not wolfless. You are sacred. The air shimmered around her. She looked like she might come undone. But Talia had no conviction upon his words. The clock is merciless, he muttered, staring out at the blood-red sky. And I'm running out of time. To make her believe in me. To make her believe in us. To save this entire wolf world. Please, he said. Breathe. Just breathe. He held her until the glow dimmed, until the room settled. Damon's gaze remained fixed on Talia, as the storm that had raged inside her moments ago was now receding, but its aftershock still lingered in her eyes. The silence between them was heavy, thick with words unspoken. He watched her closely, not just the way her chest rose and fell with the remnants of panic, but the way her shoulders curled inward, as though shielding herself from the world that had never been kind. For a moment, Damon didn't speak. He couldn't. Something inside him twisted, an emotion he wasn't used to feeling. His breath caught in his throat as his eyes scanned the bruises marring Talia's delicate skin. Each mark was a story of pain, each shadow on her body a silent scream. Talia, he whispered, voice hoarse, why do you bear all this? You weren't meant for this life. You weren't meant to suffer like this. Talia didn't meet his gaze. Her voice was low, flat, almost lifeless. Because I don't have a choice, Damon. This is the only world I've ever known. If I fight back, if I rebel, they won't just punish me. They'll end me. Damon stepped closer, the fury in his chest battling the desperation in her eyes. He cupped her face gently, afraid even his touch might add to her pain. Then come with me, he said softly but firmly. Leave all this behind. Come to my pack. I'll protect you. I'll give you a new life. Talia's breath caught in her throat. The silence between them grew thick, suffocating, as if time itself had paused. She took a step back, her body stiff, her eyes locked on Damon, not with awe but with disbelief. Her voice trembled as she asked, Are you sure about what you're saying? Damon didn't flinch. He met her gaze head on with his voice steady. I've never been more sure of anything in my life. He stepped closer, lowering the contract slightly, as if bearing his heart along with it. These are not just words, Talia. They're my vow. Take this, and come with me. Let me give you the life you were always meant to have. This contract wasn't just an assurance for Talia. It was Damon's calculated move cloaked in sincerity. To her, it was a promise, a written vow of protection, dignity, and a chance at a life beyond chains. But to Damon, it was also a weapon sharp and silent. By marrying her, he would mark her as his own. not just in the eyes of the moon goddess, but in the binding law of the wolf packs. Once Talia becomes his property, no pack, not even Red Moon, could claim her, harm her, or stake authority over her without declaring war on the fiercest alpha alive. It was a political shield and a personal plea. 2 games, 1 move. He needed to gain Talia's trust urgently, but he also needed to protect her without igniting chaos across the territories. And this contract? This was how he'd do both. Talia's breath hitched. The room felt still, like even the air was holding its breath, waiting for her to choose. To keep running from pain, or to take a terrifying leap towards something unknown. 30 days. That was all the moon goddess had granted. And now, the final grains of time were slipping through Damon's fingers. Will Talia sign the contract Damon offered? Will she trust Damon after all her past experiences? Can this shattered girl become the salvation the wolf world needs? And if she doesn't, will Damon let the world burn, or will he burn first?
To find out what happens next, listen to every thrilling episode of The Alpha's Bride, available only on the Pocket FM app. Download it for free now.